Welcome to A Damn Good Question, the weekly broadcast that helps you understand the top news stories with a conservative twist.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to A Damn Good Question podcast. Sitting across from me, as always, friend, co-host, producer, sidekick, super in his own right, third richest man in the world, and front runner for the first president of Mars, Mark.
Hi.
Astute as always. And of course, your forever host, SGD. We want to welcome here to this episode of A Damn Good Question, our thousands and thousands of listeners. What a beautiful world we live in, and what an amazing country. As we celebrated the 4th of July, it was just pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Fireworks.
Booze.
Boobs.
Food. Boobs. It's a great country. Let's just be honest. But hey, we want to thank you for joining us here today. And man, what do you think, Mark? Do you have a good week?
Yeah, busy.
Busy.
And continue to be busy and busier. So,
right.
Yep.
But of course, we appreciate everybody. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share it with everybody you know. Push that like button. Be part of this. Let us know what we can do, how we can improve things, and what you want to hear so that we can talk about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you wanted to talk about today Iran.
And ran so far away.
I better stop or we'll have copyright infringements. Although, should give a big shout out to one of the greatest bands of all time, Flock of Seagulls. When you think of the big bands, when you think of the most important bands,
yes,
the
when I think of the
Zeppelin,
big bands,
Stones, The Who,
Flock of Seagulls, that's what comes to mind right away. Oh my God!
First of all, probably one of the greatest names for a band of all time.
Men in Hats.
Yeah.
Flock of Seagulls. Yeah. Man. You know, the 70s and 80s were pretty trippy time.
They were.
But yeah, Iran. A little bit of FOFA on Iran's part, I think. I honestly think one of the problems in Iran is they really don't have a leader. And so they don't have anybody saying, okay, this is our strategy. Nobody move. Nobody do anything stupid. We need to go. Okay, we need to hold this line until. No, they got this guy over here who thinks he's in charge, and this guy who thinks he's in charge, and this guy who thinks they're in charge, and this guy's like, you know what? See those ships out there? Let's shoot at some of those ships. Show them that we still have power. Oh man! So the price of oil went up. Jumped up like $3. And of course, somehow the gas prices jumped up 30 cents for that. Overnight. Even though we're always told that when oil prices go down, it's slow for the gas to go down because it has to work itself into the market because those oil prices are for August.
We're lied to. I know we don't understand all the thing and all the futures markets and all that kind of stuff and global market and everything, but still, I when the price goes up and down on anything, there's some people that make a lot of money.
Yes.
Up or down.
I really want to learn how to short things and make all the money when things go down.
I tell you what, speaking of that, one of the greatest movies of all time, The Big Short. Watch it.
Oh.
It's funny, too.
I thought you were going to say Casino Royale.
Yeah. But The Big Short.
Yeah, The Big Short.
And you know what? It gets a little hairy and complicated, but they keep it where you kind of understand what's going on. There are a bunch of crooks in our banking and government. I know.
I'm shocked by that.
That's basically what the bottom line is. So,
Mark, what?
But I've been listening to Ben Shapiro, okay? And he's got it right. And we had everybody that had a brain cell knew the second that October 7th, 7th happened, and that's been 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, gonna be.
You do not negotiate, and you do not trust Islamic people. Islamic people are bad people.
Iran
people, you do not negotiate with those people. All you can do is try and bring them to Christ, or unfortunately, we're probably going to have to remove them.
Iran has never followed through with one thing in 47 years.
These are dishonest people.
One thing, because in their worldview, in their religion, and in their political view, it is okay to lie to the infidels. It is something that you're supposed to do, and it's something that you can do. They have no. The only thing that they understand is brute force and power. And if they think that they're actually strong, they have no idea what the real might of the U.S. military is like. No freaking clue. And I honestly believe, Mark, that all these negotiations that we were doing with them, we just wanted to put things in better places for ourselves while things were calm. We put things in places where we need them to be, and we were ready, and we were just waiting for them to screw up, and they've screwed up. And now I kind of like Trump's like they're idiots. They're
scum.
They're scum. They are scum.
They are scum.
They are stupid people.
Hey, and this is
maybe now we just
every Islamic person. There are no good, nice Islamic people. These are bad people. They have been misled by their false religion and their corrupt religion. And I tell you what, when you grow up like that, where it's okay to lie to somebody for your tribe, it's okay to kill somebody for your tribe. This is what they have been in their brain all their lives. I tell you what, these are scary people. These are scary people.
And dead people.
Well,
just dumb. The other thing is all of their other Islamic states in that region, not one of them likes Iran. They are all at odds with Iran. They all fight with Iran all the time. So nobody is coming to their rescue. The only one who talked about they might get in on the fight and come to their rescue was Turkey.
Gobble, gobble.
Who is a NATO ally?
What is going on with Turkey?
Which I honestly think, since Erdogan took over and turned it into an Islamic state and made himself emperor, forever king, which totally destroyed their constitution and went against their laws, I think it's time that NATO kicks Turkey out.
Well, we ought to sell them high-end
F-35s.
F-35. We ought to sell them that.
I'm going to tell everybody this right now. I do not think for 1 minute, that there is a sophisticated weapon system that the United States creates that we don't have a kill switch for, that we sell to people.
Yeah.
It's either in the computer code, it's in a computer switch itself, but you tell me that we're selling stuff to people that we can't turn off at a moment's notice if we have to. Bull. Because if I thought about it, some guy in the military, high up in the military, is like, you know what if somebody ever got a hold of one of these and could use them against us? Well, we got a kill switch. Yeah, that sounds right. Of course we do. Why wouldn't we?
And I understand that.
I learned that from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, when they were able to turn off the shields on Khan's ship that he stole from the Federation. The override codes.
But he did go on to host Fantasy Island.
I love Fantasy Island. Who didn't like Fantasy Island?
And just remember, watch out if you have a pager. So, I don't know. But the one thing that did come out in that thing is that we're going to let Ukraine build Patriot missiles.
Oh, we're giving them more so that they can shoot stuff down.
No, we're giving the technology for them to be able to build themselves.
A system, I'm sure. But hey, the Patriot missile system is an old, actually very old technology that we've had for a long time. Of course, we have better because now we actually use lasers now. Most of our defense systems now use lasers to shoot missiles out of the sky instead of other missiles.
Well, we got all that technology from the aliens that came down.
Actually, we got that technology from our partnership with Israel. I know, the evil Jews. I know.
Yep. I love it. Anything that's going wrong,
it's the Jews.
These Jews are powerful people.
Whew, man, yeah.
Man.
Rothschilds have nothing on the Jews.
Wasn't he a Jew? I don't know. Okay, you want to talk about, I don't know why you want to talk about this man, but Plattner? He's kind of your hero, isn't he? I mean, he's manly. He's the definition of the liberal man.
He's the definition of a kook. But Graham Plattner is now out as a Senate candidate in Maine, so there was rape allegations brought by the head of the Maine Republican Party against him. Those were ignored. But now that a socialist Democrat brings up rape allegations, well, they must be true.
Yeah.
Okay. And once again, I honestly heard a commentator say that all of this has to be because the Jews. I'm like, really?
Well, at least we know the answer to all questions.
Hey, at least they're consistent.
I tell you what. Somebody mentioned though that in defense of Plattner, I'm tired of these women who come out years later. I don't care who it is, Trump, Plattner, anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get raped, you go to the police. Or you know what? I don't care anything about you. You go to the police. I mean, number one, that man is out there. And in Plattner's case, it's the first woman who ever got raped, had gone to the police and had him. Other women wouldn't have got raped.
Correct.
So these are...
Can't let these monsters go.
And then she did. And then the reason this liberal piece of crap, and she's a piece of crap too, guys, didn't want to report it because she was afraid that it might be bad for his campaign and she wanted him to win. A man who raped her.
So
I want him to win. What kind of
sick mind virus?
Sick person is this?
Yeah.
And now he can't.
It's a woman.
It's a woman. Oh. And now our oyster farmer can't run.
Our oyster farmer. Almost like our Maryland father, our Maryland dad, right? Our oyster farmer, Maryland father. These are the people that are the backbone of America that we need to prop up and support. Democrats, you know what? If you guys would have spent a little bit of time and a little bit of money to actually do a background check on this guy, you never would have ran him in the first place.
Supposedly they did.
Yeah, they spent $7,000 on a background check. For somebody that you're dumping millions of dollars behind, you think you would have spent somebody should have spent 2 months just interviewing him, once a week just to see how much his story changed to find out that he was
and I guess
psychotic.
I guess in some of this, some of this vetting, some of this came out, but not everything came out.
But wait. I instead I want to applaud the Democratic Party. I mean, keep running these kind of people. Please keep running. Please. Thank you. Tellerico's next down in Texas. He is because that guy's almost as crazy as Plattner.
You're absolutely right. However, in New York City, they're winning. All these people are winning.
Yes, because who votes in New York City?
The crazies.
The illegals, the people who aren't born here, the people who have no right to be voting in the United States of America are the ones who vote.
I don't think that's who got Madani.
No, you're right. It's stupid white women.
Yeah, and the youth and everything.
Yeah,
we got a generation of people that are coming up in this world.
You look behind all these candidates when they're at their victory parties. It's not this diverse coalition. It's all stupid, rich white women who hate themselves so much. You have that much daddy issues that you want to destroy this country because you feel bad for your whiteness? You're idiots.
Hey, white people are cool. White people are great. White people are number one, and there's nothing wrong with saying that.
There's nothing wrong with it. We built this world. We built this country. If you want to see what the world was like before white people really started developing this world, all you got to do is go back a few hundred years.
Yep.
Where everybody was still throwing stones at each other, or where everybody was still riding on horseback. Stop hating yourself that much. Stop hating yourself so much that you will destroy everything that's ever been good in your own life.
Speaking of that,
what have we got next?
You want to talk about ice?
Ice, baby. Hey, that's Queen. That's different.
No, just a second.
That's under pressure.
Remember him explaining that? I saw a video of that the other day of him explaining that again, and I just
I love when that went to trial and the judge was like, I don't hear it. They're two totally different songs, and everybody went, what?
The second that his song came out, everybody said Queen.
Yeah, it's under pressure, and then what is this?
And you know,
he's going. What's Queen? What's under pressure?
If Vanilla Ice had done it right, he could have just given credit to Queen, paid him the royalties, and still made a ton of money. You know, it's sad.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Yeah. Man.
So you want to talk about ICE? What do you want to talk about ICE?
ICE kills an illegal immigrant in Texas who tried to run over an agent with a vehicle.
FO.
Yeah. FOFA.
What? Find out?
Yeah. Find out. That's right.
No.
FAFO.
No, it's F around.
Yeah. FAFO. Yeah. FA.
You know, I thought that was
and find out.
I thought that was such a good saying and everything, and we don't use it enough.
Oh yeah. Well, it's because look, we just can't even get it right ourselves. But, so they kill this guy.
I guess you're right.
and now, supposedly the Mexican government wants to sue ICE for killing one of their citizens. Well, maybe your citizen should have been in Mexico where he belonged, and this wouldn't happen to him in the first place. So maybe we should sue you for letting your people be here without authority. What do you think about that, Mark?
I don't know. Mexico's just a funny place. So just
it's hilarious.
What is going on? We never hear too much about Mexico, but last time I heard there was a big turmoil and the government was having it out with
back in
cartel.
February. Yeah,
that's
because they killed the cartel leader. And
that's still going on.
The cartel's paid enough money to stop all that.
Oh, okay.
You know how that works in Mexico.
Are the drugs? Drugs still flowing?
Yeah, well, they're trying to, but the border's closed, so it's hard to get their drugs here with the borders closed and nobody illegally crossing.
So I know drug deaths are down in the United States, way down.
Bigly. As the president might say, bigly.
I know that, everybody's smoking pot.
I'm not.
No, I mean, all the drug people and everything, everybody's doing pot because it's legal. So, pretty much legal. And
it's not legal in this state. Yeah, and it's still not federally legal.
But you know what? If you get caught with pot in this state, it's a slap on the wrist. So, but you can go up to Michigan and smoke, and Ohio and Illinois.
That stuff smells so bad. And the funny thing is, the people who smoke it all the time they can't smell it, and they have no idea how bad they smell when they walk by you, and you're like, oh my God, a skunk just walked through here. They have no idea. They think they think they smell good. Yeah. They have no idea.
I just don't do that kind of stuff because
because you got money, so therefore yours is like cocaine.
Excuse my cocaine habit.
Yeah.
Excuse wrong with that. When you got good cocaine.
Yeah. The money you got, you don't play around with little drugs like pot.
Yeah.
That's poor people drugs.
I remember Whitney Houston.
Yes, trust me, that's who I was thinking about the whole time.
Yeah, I don't do that.
We don't do cocaine. That's for poor people.
No, it's crack. She does cocaine. She did cocaine.
Yeah, I know.
It was.
I know.
She does the cocaine, not crack. Crack is for poor people.
Crack's for poor people. That's right.
Oh well. Gosh. Oh well. It's a crazy world.
It is a crazy world. Speaking of a crazy world, this is a fascinating, almost clinical phenomenon in modern American politics, and it's the left's absolute mastery of the art of projection. They have elevated hypocrisy from a simple character flaw into a central pillar of their political strategy. They don't just accuse the right of things; they accuse of the right of the very sins, behaviors, and attitudes that define their own movement, often with a level of audacity that would be breathtaking if it weren't so predictable. Because we've talked about this before. As we look at the headlines and the unfolding in the political landscape, this pattern isn't just continuing, it's actually escalating. So let's begin with the most glaring example: violence and intimidation. The left has built an entire narrative around dangerous insurrectionist right. They endlessly replay footage from January 6th while conveniently ignoring the years of political violence they had fomented. Remember the summer of 2020? The summer of love? Cities burned, businesses were looted, autonomous zones, right, were established, all with the tact and sometimes explicit approval of leftist politicians and media. They called it mostly peaceful protests. A right-wing protester with a flagpole is a domestic terrorist. A left-wing mob setting fire to a federal courthouse is a misunderstood social justice movement. This double standard continues today. Just this April, a California man was charged with allegedly seeking to assassinate President Donald Trump. To his supporters, this was just another piece of evidence in a mounting pile of left-wing threats and violence. Meanwhile, a recent report from the Center for Strategic and International Studies found that in the first half of 2025, there were far more instances coded as left-wing terrorism compared to right-wing terrorism. The left condemns political violence while their extremist elements increasingly engage in it, all while their allies in the media downplay or justify it. Mm-hmm. Everything they do can be justified. Orange Man bad. Nazis. Hitler, right? Next, let's talk about there's supposed commitment to tolerance, diversity, and speech. They preach these values from every university pulpit and every Hollywood award show. But in practice, they are the most intolerant movement in modern American history. A conservative speaker on campus, they're not just disagreed with, they're shouted into silence. Their events disturbed, their lives threatened. Last time Ben Shapiro spoke at Berkeley, he needed 600 police just so he could speak on a college campus, someplace where free speech is the norm.
Yeah.
Okay? The left has created a system of control through cancel culture that would make any totalitarian regime proud. They claim to champion open discourse while systematically working to shut down opposing views through deplatforming campaigns, social media mobs, and professional blacklisting. As some analysts have pointed out, this left-wing liberalism ironically fuels far-right activism. You can't keep pushing people down before somebody's going to rise up. And when people rise up to call you out, they are all of a sudden the extremists, right? They are all of a sudden far-right extremists. Yeah. And by pushing this narrative, they create the backlash against the authoritarian attempts to control thought and speech. And then, like I said, call you the bigot, call you the hateful one. One analysis noted Republicans' claim of Democratic hypocrisy may sometimes be overblown, but they are decidedly not imagined. The activist left, in particular, is guilty of helping to create the conditions for our toxic political movement. They demand tolerance for themselves while offering none to others. None.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's oppression with following the science. This is perhaps the most cherished intellectual cudgel. They love to lecture the rest of us about climate change and pandemic responses, presenting themselves as the sole arbitrators of reason and data. But this commitment to science is highly selective. They'll tell you to trust the experts on climate models projecting doom decades from now and decades past, while dismissing any expert who questions their preferred narrative on gender ideology. There's only 3 sexes, Mark. We've been over this.
Yeah.
Male, female, and Canadians. Which denies fundamental biological realities observable to any kindergartner. They'll demand absolute adherence to public health mandates that upended society, but they'll ignore the science of basic biology when it becomes politically inconvenient. You couldn't go to church because you would be close to people, but strip clubs, pop farms, bars, and all these mostly peaceful protests were allowed. The right is called anti-science for questioning the efficiency of lockdowns and mask mandates, while the left gets a pass for promoting the scientifically baseless idea that men can get pregnant. Now, I've looked like I've been pregnant before in my life, but I wasn't. The adherence to the science is entirely conditional on whether the science supports their predetermined political conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
The left loves the claim that the right is trying to destroy democracy. This is their favorite charge, leveled whenever they lose an election or face a policy they don't like. But look at their actions. Who is it that consistently tries to change the fundamental rules of our constitutional republic because they keep losing elections under the current system? We need to get rid of the Electoral College. It's the left that wants to pack the Supreme Court, eliminate the Electoral College, and grant statehood to D.C. and Puerto Rico. And D.C. has always been told that it should never and would never have statehood, because it is supposed to be a neutral place for all politicians to be. Puerto Rico, they get to vote on statehood all the time. They don't want it because that means they have to pay their fair share of taxes.
Yep.
They call it protecting democracy when it's really about rigging the system in their favor. As we've seen with the new administrations, they are actively reversing what critics called the Great Awakening, the far-reaching codification of woke values in universities, major corporations, and many government offices between 2017 and 2024.
Mm-hmm.
The left's version of progressivism, with its systematic critique of American moral hypocrisy and structural injustice, gained immense purchase among Democrat elites. And they use that institutional power to enforce it, not through democratic persuasion, but through bureaucratic fiat. They told you what you could and could not do without ever passing a law. They enforced things that were never laws. And who helped them? Mostly dumb, white liberals. They accuse the right of being driven by fear and emotion, yet their entire political platform is built on fear. Fear of climate catastrophe, fear of systematic oppression, fear of anyone who thinks differently. They appeal to emotion rather than reason in almost every argument. And that is why they are mostly white liberal women. You pull at somebody's heartstrings or make something emotional, it far outweighs reason in their mind. Unfortunately, that's just the gist of it. They show pictures of crying children at the border to argue for open borders, ignoring the practical consequences. They use apocalyptic rhetoric about climate to push radical economic policies that would devastate the working class they claim to champion. Their politics is a politics of panic, designed to short-circuit rational thought and push through an agenda that could never survive calm, sober scrutiny, and it never does. Mm-hmm. Perhaps most hyperbolically, the left portrays themselves as champions of the working class and the poor. They posture as the defenders of the little guy against corporate greed and Republican indifference. But those policies actually help the working class? It's the far left's war on domestic energy that has skyrocketed gas prices and heating bills, hitting the poor hardest. It's their inflammatory spending that has eroded the paychecks of every American worker. They want more and more of your paycheck, more and more taxes. It's the open border policy that have just depressed wages for low-skilled workers and strained community resources. They lecture about income inequality from their mansions in Martha's Vineyard and their private jets, all while their policies make it harder for the average person to get ahead. They are the party of the coastal elite, the academic bubble, and the corporate boardroom that has adopted progressive rhetoric as a form of cheap and moral branding. The projection is endless. The right is rigid, while the left demands absolute conformity to their worldview, punishing any deviation from progressive orthodoxy with social and professional ruin. The right is intolerant, while the left refuses to even entertain opposing viewpoints, creating ideological echo chambers in our most important institutions. The right is dangerous, while the left's policies have created chaos in our cities, undermined the basic institutions that have kept this country stable for generations, and fomented a level of political division not seen in over a century. So next time you hear a leftist pontificating about tolerance, diversity, democracy, and justice, just remember they are likely describing everything about themselves. The accusations are nothing more than a mere reflection of their own shortcomings, projected onto their political opponents in a desperate attempt to distract from their own hypocrisy. It's not just wrong, it's a betrayal of their very principles they claim to uphold. They've become the very thing they profess to hate: intolerant, authoritarian, hyper-political, hypercritical, and willing to destroy the village in order to save it, according to their own flawed vision. Now, most Democrats who are in power know exactly what they're doing, but most of the people out there who follow them and believe in them have no idea. How do we open their eyes, Mark? How do we get them to understand that they have been sold a package of lies wrapped up in some really nice bows that say that they care about you and that they care about the planet? But once you look into how many lies they've had to tell you for you to believe it, none of it makes sense. It starts with climate change that has been going on for 80 years in this country now. 80 years. And none of it has come to fruition. None of it has come to pass, and none of it's been true.
Yeah.
So how do we help open people's eyes today, Mark? And today, that is our damn good question. Thoughts and comments?
Yeah, we can't. I give up on them. I was telling Aiden, I think, the other day, you can't talk to these people. You know, it used to be, I don't know if it's true or not, but I always, it's a great story. You know, sometimes myths are better than the truth anyway. But back in the day, Tip O'Neill and Newt Gingrich's Congress.
Yep.
There was a new congressman, and he was sitting there, and it was like his first, few weeks there, and he was observing them fighting back and forth about some issue. Didn't matter what it was, yelling and screaming at each other. And he thought there actually was going to be a fight break out between the two sides, the Republicans and Democrats. And he was scared. And anyway, the session ended. They both shook hands and went across the street for a beer.
Yeah.
Both people. They got along.
Couldn't do that now.
They had a difference in their ideas on how to do it, and you cannot have a conversation or a debate with these people. I don't know if I want to bring this up or not, but
he's going to.
But I think I will, because Charlie Kirk has been coming up in moves. And it's not just Charlie Kirk, it's anybody. What Charlie did was wrong. It got him killed, I think, because he allowed people to come up and ask him questions. Right? Now, that's a pretty American thing, right?
It is.
You can't. I tell you what, the people that came up to ask him some questions every once in a while, and that he put on his YouTube video, were mentally ill people, mentally disturbed people that would probably get a gun and shoot him. Guess what happened?
The funny thing is,
you cannot talk to mentally ill.
It's how the left says that he is a hate monger, and that he's
one of the nicest things. People.
And you run into people all the time who say that about him. Yeah. And then you ask them, have you ever watched any of his videos? Well, no. Okay, let's pull up some videos and watch some of his videos. The full thing, like an hour long of him sitting there talking to people. By the time they get done watching a couple videos, they go, oh my God, I never knew that.
Never knew.
No kidding. Yeah. Because they don't tell you the truth. Why would they? They don't want you to know that all he did was tell people, hey, I want to have a debate with you. Let's talk. I want to hear your side, and I'm going to give you my side. I will answer your questions. Let's do this.
Yeah. These people are, when you've been lied to, and you know what? It happens on both sides, but it really happens on the left.
How much have they lied about Trump and things he said? Like there's good people on both sides hoax. The Russian hoax. There's so much stupidity, but people won't even take the 2 minutes that it takes to go and watch it themselves and find out the truth.
Well, first of all, there are good people in the KKK. The KKK is allowed.
That wasn't even what he said, Mark.
Yeah, I know, but even to the extreme, there are good people in the KKK. They're allowed to have those views too, folks. That's not illegal. The KKK exists. It is an organization. It has points of views of white supremacy and even hate. And I tell you what, there's hate on both sides. So you are allowed to be hateful.
And who?
So shut up.
And who created the KKK, Mark?
Oh, the Democrats.
The Democratic Party created the KKK. Who's had members in Congress and in the Senate who were grand wizards of the KKK?
I think it was the Democratic Party.
It was the Democratic Party.
And who freed the slaves?
The Republicans.
Oh, yeah.
Who ended Jim Crow? The Republicans.
Talk about projection.
So
why are the Republicans so weak and stupid? Start projecting back on these people. These people are not good. And it's okay to say that. Hey, and it's okay to be white. And it's okay if, you know what? I tell you what.
It's okay to be proud to be white. Every other race, not race, we're all a human race. Every other skin color are allowed to be proud of their heritage and who they are and where they come from. But some reason, because if you're paler than a tanned person, you're not allowed to be. You're just evil. Really? Even though you built a society that everybody lives in and everybody wants to be part of.
Everyone is a child of God, whether you're white, green, black, yellows.
I love green.
It doesn't matter who you are. You're a child of God and you're loved by God. except those damn Mexicans.
I thought you was going to say Canadians.
Well, I use the Mexicans. I actually like Mexican people. I tell you what, Mexican people,
I like every people, almost.
We need to bring in a number of Mexican people into this country. They should be welcomed, and they are welcomed with open arms legally, folks. That's all. That's all we're asking, is that so they're not hiding, they're paying taxes, they're becoming part.
If you come to this town,
just legal.
If you come to this town, can you open up something other than a Mexican restaurant, a pizza place, or a chicken restaurant?
Yes,
so we can have something else to eat.
Because we're building another credit union. Of course, you can't need a credit union.
Right.
But they have suckers. I don't know. Almost every credit union I've ever gone to has candy on the front.
Everything.
Well, yeah, pretty much, but definitely every credit union.
Yeah.
And, we are going to be the home of Mexican restaurants, pizza places, donut shops, and credit unions.
Will the donut shop still be around?
I don't know.
Don't forget the breakfast places.
Well, most of them are Mexican places in the afternoon. That's the best thing. Hey, we want to thank our sponsors.
That's a business idea.
That's why it's called Sophia's Breakfast and Burrito Time is what the actual name.
Breakfast in the morning and Mexican food in the evening. Whatever. Okay, how do they get hold of us? Well,
no.
We had a sponsor, don't we? Okay, go ahead.
Got plumbing problems? Look no further than Towhead Plumbing, your local plumbing experts. Need a new faucet installed or an old one repaired? We've got you covered. Is your toilet giving you trouble? We specialize in toilet installation, replacement, and repairs. Thinking about a new garbage disposal or replacing the old one? Call us. Need a new dishwasher? We handle dishwasher installations and replacements with ease. And don't forget those outdoor hose bibs. We repair them too. For fast, reliable service, call Towhead Plumbing today at 704-813-5653. Your home deserves the best, and so do you.
You're on.
Okay. You were saying, how do they get a hold of us?
No. I said, do we have any good news? Do we have any good news? We got some good news.
Well, yeah.
What's your good news, Mark?
Taylor and Kelsey are married now.
Huzzah!
The next thing is a little Travis running around.
A little Swift.
A little Swift. Well, I tell you what,
Mr. and Mrs. Swift.
I already know that if they have a child, it will be a boy.
Okay, I'm listening to what?
I'm just saying. I'm projecting.
Oh,
I'm going to start trying to project. And if people and let's say they have a baby, and it's a little girl, I'm going to say no, that's actually a boy. You think it's a girl, but it's actually a boy. And of course,
didn't we just go over that?
Of course, they. Yeah. Well, at least neither one of them are Canadian.
Yet.
Hey, shout out to Travis. He was part of Cleveland, Ohio. So, some things do great come from Cleveland, Ohio. How are they going to do this year in football with him being married?
No better than they did when he wasn't.
Yeah, they Kansas City.
Oh, they'll probably come back this year and have a great year this year.
I hope. Then he can quit. And he'll have 5 rings.
He's probably done already.
And he'll have 5 rings.
Yeah.
Because he has 3 now. And he gets another ring.
That was the great one on Tom Brady, right?
Oh my gosh.
How many rings he had and then he lost one. Giselle took it back.
Yeah, Nikki Gully's are a good.
That was good. That was good stuff.
Yeah, Nikki.
But my good news story is actually Ukraine.
Good news in Ukraine? I find that hard to believe.
I think one of 2 things is going to happen in the Ukraine war very soon, because Ukraine now is actually able to use drones to hit deep into Russia. We're talking, they sunk a couple tankers, Russian oil tankers here recently. They hit a lot of the Russian oil structures recently. They're hitting structures in Moscow.
Yeah.
They're putting a lot of pressure. So one of 2 things is going to happen. either Vladimir Putin's finally going to come to the table and they're going to have some kind of peace agreement,
Mm-hmm.
or he's finally going to use a nuclear weapon.
Yeah. Did you hear the joke that
You
Zelensky-
realize that, right?
You heard the joke Zelensky said?
Hmm.
Okay, well, Putin had mentioned that perhaps what he would like to have is Zelensky and Trump come to Russia for a summit. Okay, so
Stay away from
so,
windows.
So Trump asked, well, "What's that? Would you be willing to go to Russia?" And I'm paraphrasing this, and he goes, "No." I'm like, "It's too dangerous there. There's so many Ukrainians." That is funny.
That's good. There's,
He is at the bottom line a comedian.
yeah, that's
right.
what he
People
was. He was
forgot.
always a comedian.
And that was funny. That was funny. I don't
is-
care who you are.
That is good. But Ukraine and Russia both have their work on combat drones has changed modern warfare. At first, when people had swarms of drones, they were like, "Oh, that's easy. We can hit them with a microwave, just disrupt all the communication, and the drones would just fall out of the sky." So how'd they get around that? They got around that by having wired drones. Every drone now that flies out of these places all have a cable attached to them.
I thought you just wrapped them with aluminum foil.
They are all they're all on fiber optics.
Yeah.
So one of the bad things that is happening is there are these microscopic fiber optic cables for hundreds of miles now, going everywhere, thousands and thousands of them just falling on the ground. That the soil is going to get ruined because all this plastic is going to get chewed up and put into the soil, right? It's gonna affect more than what anybody
Where's
has
Greta
ever.
Thunberg? Where's Greta Thunberg?
Trying to get oil that's evil to Cuba because Cuba needs oil, even though the world shouldn't be on oil, right, Greta?
Yeah.
But I honestly think that he's either going to come to the table or he's going to use a nuclear weapon. And I'm not saying he's going to use a big nuclear weapon.
Oh no.
But he's going to use a nuclear yield weapon. There's lots of them. The United States have very low yield nuclear weapons. They're just about making a huge explosion that is devastating. Not about leaving
there's
nuclear
weapons that aren't even
behind.
nuclear that will really do a lot of damage.
Yes, but nothing like a nuclear explosion. And he's said that he might use one. Now, why hasn't anybody in all this time used a nuclear weapon? Because everyone believes that if the first country to use a nuclear weapon, all other countries will turn against them. All other countries will turn against them and push to defeat them, no matter what it is or why they used it. So
I just don't know why.
We're gonna see.
It just doesn't make sense.
But I think one way or another,
you know,
we're close to the end of it.
The one thing is that Putin.
He miscalculated for
You
such
can
a
trust,
smart guy.
You can trust him. Not like Islamic. No, I know, but to a certain extent, you can trust Putin.
Yes.
Not like Islamic.
Like the 30 of his cabinet members who have gotten too close to windows on the third or fourth floor and accidentally have, jumped to their death.
Yeah. So he's a bad, nasty leader and everything, but I tell you what, when he comes to the table and everything and negotiates, it'll be good. It'll be good for 2 or 3 years. And then it won't be.
Not 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, not immediately the next day.
Yeah.
Or while you're negotiating. We're going to stop bombing. Bomb.
Yeah. But hey, Mark, how do they get a hold of us?
Well, finally, you ask.
Finally.
Mark at damngoodquestion.org. They can find us on
the book,
Facebook. They can find us on
the X.
They, of course, can see us on Spotify. And YouTube and Rumble.
Rumble, young man.
Did we miss anything?
Rumble.
And, of course, if you're somebody I guess I can just stop there. If you're somebody and would like to come on this show, we haven't had a guest in a long time. We bought that extra mic. We are 3 mics now. We need to have a guest on here. Let's think about that.
We're ready for a new guest.
We are. We're trying to put a casino in this town. Maybe we can have one of those, the pro and the. In fact, maybe we'll have both of them on at the same time.
Yeah, one at a time, and then break them on together.
And have them duke it out.
Just you guys aren't even on the show.
Just so you know, I'll say it again. If people want to gamble, they're going to gamble. You bring a casino here, okay, you're going to make jobs. Yes, some things are going to go bad. Of course they are. Every industry that comes in brings good and bad. Every single one. But you can buy lottery tickets and lotto tickets at every freaking gas station.
And they do.
The other day, right in front of me was an Amish guy who bought 2 $50 scratch-off tickets.
That's funny. That's funny. You should have gotten your iPhone out. And
I should have been like,
yeah, that would have been.
Oh man,
my God! You know what? Maybe there.
But you know what? My luck. He's the one who ends up hitting the $1 million on one of those.
Then what is he going to do with it?
Hide it from the church,
I guess. That's actually
somebody.
That actually is the thing.
Somebody had the gall to tell me that the Amish community is really poor.
Oh, they don't know what they're talking about.
They have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They're really poor.
Very, very wealthy.
That's why they don't have cars.
I had heard, and
wow, you got it.
I had heard, and it makes sense.
They can't even afford electricity.
That because Catholic Church was the richest church in the world. Of course, that's for many years. Everybody knew that. My understanding, and I'll have to double check that, the Mormon Church is
the richest church.
And you know why? Because I think they probably have been investing their money. Catholic Church doesn't necessarily invest their money. They have a lot of property, they have a lot of artifacts, and they have a lot of, if they would ever start, if the Catholic Church would ever start selling some of their artifacts and everything like that.
Some really neat stuff.
It would probably, but how can you really
and I'm
give a price for some of this stuff?
I'm sure there's stuff that they would like to buy from the U.S. government, like the Ark of the Covenant, that we know is underneath the Pentagon. That Indiana Jones brought back to America.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, just saying. Okay, can we go now?
Yeah, we want to thank everybody for joining us this week on a damn good question. Thank you so much for all your support and all your love. And
have a good weekend.
God bless. And until next time, see ya.
See ya.